Hello everyone, welcome to my channel where I talk about personal finance. Today I'm going to talk about the hardest phase of money. When people talk about money, they often focus on the exciting parts. They talk about making more money, becoming financially independent, investing, buying a house, starting a business, or reaching $1 million net worth. But there is a stage of money that does not get nearly enough attention. It's the stage where you are working hard, earning more than you used to, but still do not feel financially secure. Your income may be increasing, but your savings ain't growing as quickly as you would like. Your bills are under control, but one unexpected expense can still create stress. You are trying to build wealth, but it feels like you are making progress one step forward and two steps backwards. This often the hardest phase of money, and understanding it can completely change the way you look at your finances. The beginning is difficult. When you are starting from nothing, the goal is usually straightforward. Increase your income and survive. You might be focused on finding a better job, getting more hours, starting a side hustle, or building a business. Every extra dollar matters, but eventually you reach a point where simply earning more isn't enough. You have to learn how to keep money. That sounds simple, but it's one of the hardest financial skills to develop. Making money and managing money are two completely different abilities. You can earn a high income and still live paycheck to paycheck. You can receive a raise and somehow feel just as financially stressed as you did before. That's because wealth isn't created by income alone. It's created by the gap between what you earn and what you spend and what you do with that gap. The lifestyle trap. One of the biggest challenges during this phase is lifestyle inflation. You get a raise and suddenly you can afford a nicer apartment. You get another raise and you upgrade your car. Then you start eating out more, taking better vacations, upgrading your technology, and spending more on entertainment. None of these things are necessarily bad. The problem happens when every increase in income immediately becomes an increase in spending. Your lifestyle improves, but your financial security does not. This can create a strange situation where someone earns significantly more money than they did 5 years ago, but still feels like they do not have enough. The solution isn't necessarily to stop enjoying your money. It's to make sure your lifestyle does not grow faster than your financial foundation. The real financial cushion, the first real financial cushion, one of the hardest milestones is building your first meaningful emergency fund. Saving the first few hundreds dollars can feel impossible when money is tight. You reach 1,000, then perhaps 5,000. But getting to a point where you have enough cash to handle several months of expenses can take serious discipline. And here is the frustrating part. Nothing exciting happens when you build an emergency fund. You do not get a new car. You do not get a fancy vacation. Nobody sees the achievement. But that money represents something extremely valuable, options. If your cars break down, you have options. If you lose your job, you have options. If your business has a slow month, you have options. Financial security often looks boring from the outside. That's exactly what makes it powerful. The transition from earning to building. At some point, your financial strategy needs to change. Early on, your primary focus may be increasing income. Later, your focus becomes converting income into assets. This might include retirement accounts, investments, a business, real estate, or other assets appropriate for your circumstances. The important concept is that your money needs to start working alongside you. If you earn $80,000 and spend 79,000, your income is doing almost all the work. But if you earn 80,000, live on 60,000 and consistently invest or save the difference, you're beginning to build a financial engine. Over time, that engine can become more powerful. Why this phase feels so slow? The hardest phase can feel frustrating because progress isn't always visible. When you have $2,000 saved, reaching 5,000 feels like a huge accomplishment. But when you have 50,000 invested, and another 5,000 may not feel nearly as dramatic. This is where patience becomes important. Building wealth often feels slow before it starts feeling fast. Your first years may be about developing habits, paying down expensive debt, building savings, and learning how to invest responsibly. The result may seem small at first, but consistency creates momentum. Stop comparing your chapter to someone else. Social media makes this phase even harder. You see people buying houses, driving expensive cars, traveling around the world, and showing off their businesses. What you do not see is their debt, family support, financial history, expenses, or private struggles. Comparing your financial journey to someone else's highlight reel can make perfectly healthy progress feel like failure. Instead, compare yourself to where you were 1 year ago. Is your income higher? Is your debt lower? Are you saving? Are your saving growing? Are you investing consistently? Are you making better financial decisions? If the answer is yes, you are moving in the right direction. The hardest part is often psychological. Money isn't only about mathematics, it's also about behavior. You have to become comfortable saying no to things you can technically afford because you have a bigger goal. You have to resist spending simply because your income increase. You have to stay disciplined when nobody is watching. And perhaps most importantly, you have to believe that small financial decisions matter because they do. Saving $100 does not make you wealthy, but saving 100 every month for years while gradually increasing your income reduces unnecessary expenses and investing consistently can become something much bigger. My final thoughts: the hardest phase of money isn't necessarily being broke. It can be the period when you are finally earning enough to make progress, but not yet wealthy enough for that progress to feel easy. You are caught between survival and financial freedom. This is the phase where your habits matter most. Learn to control your lifestyle, build an emergency fund, pay attention to high interest debt, increase your income, invest consistently according to your goals and risk tolerance. and give your financial plan enough time to work, because eventually something changes. The emergency fund gets bigger, the debt gets smaller, the investment begins to compound, your income grows, and one day you realize you are no longer just trying to survive, you are building wealth. The hardest phase of money is temporary, but the financial habits you build during it can last a lifetime. Thanks for watching this video, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel.